Let me ask you a question that sounds simple, but has an answer that will genuinely surprise you. When you put your money in the bank, where does it actually go? Most people picture something like a giant vault, a room full of their cash, sitting safely, waiting for them to come back and collect it. It's a comforting image. It's also almost completely wrong. The truth about where your money goes, and about how money itself is actually created, is one of the strangest and most important things you can ever understand about the modern world. Because here's the fact that breaks most people's brains when they first hear it. The vast majority of money in existence was never printed by any government. It was created out of thin air, by banks, with a few keystrokes on a computer. Today I'm going to show you how that's possible, who really controls the money, and why understanding this quietly protects you from a whole world of fear and nonsense. Let me make my usual promise right away because this topic especially needs it. I am going to keep this accurate, and I am going to keep it calm. This subject, how money is created, attracts a lot of wild, scary stories. People use it to tell you the whole system is a fraud about to collapse, usually right before they try to sell you gold, or a course, or some miracle investment. I'm not doing that. What I'm going to give you is the real, sober explanation of how it actually works. The same things central banks themselves will tell you if you read their own reports. No panic, no sales pitch, just the truth, explained simply. So let's start with that comforting vault image and watch it fall apart. Imagine you deposit $1,000 in your bank. In your mind, that $1,000 now sits in the bank, yours, waiting. But here's what the bank actually does. It knows, from long experience, that you won't come and take all your money out at once. On any given day, only a small fraction of people withdraw their cash. So the bank keeps just a little bit of your money on hand to cover the usual withdrawals, and it lends the rest out to someone else. Your $1,000 doesn't sit in a vault. Most of it walks out the door as a loan to another person, who spends it, and it becomes someone else's deposit in another bank, which then lends most of that out again. Your single deposit ripples outward, being lent and relent over and over. Now, right away, this should raise a strange question in your mind. If the bank lent out most of your $1,000, is it still yours? You'd certainly say yes. Your account still says $1,000 and you can spend it whenever you like. But the person who borrowed it also has that money now, and they can spend it too. So the same original money is, in a sense, in two places at once, your account and theirs. And this is the very first crack in the vault illusion. The money in your account isn't a pile of cash sitting still. It's really a promise from the bank, a promise to give you cash whenever you ask. That's the setup. Now let me show you the mask, because it goes so much further than just lending your deposit. Here is the part that truly shocks people, and it's the real answer to where does money come from? Most people assume that when a bank makes a loan, it's lending out money that savers like you put in. Take money from savers, hand it to borrowers. Simple. But that's not really how it works. When a modern bank gives someone a loan, it doesn't go find that money in someone else's account and move it. It simply creates the money, brand new, by typing a number into the borrower's account. That's it. The borrower asks for a loan of, say, $200,000 for a house. The bank approves it and types $200,000 into their account. That money did not exist a moment before. It wasn't taken from savers. It wasn't printed by the government. It was conjured into existence as a number on a screen, the instant the loan was made. I know how that sounds. It sounds impossible, or like some kind of scam. But this is not a conspiracy theory. It is simply, boringly, how banking works, and the central banks that oversee the whole system describe it in exactly these terms in their own official publications. When banks make loans, they create new money. And since the overwhelming majority of money in the modern world exists not as physical cash, but as these numbers in bank accounts, it means something staggering. Most of the money in existence was created this way, by ordinary commercial banks, making loans, typing numbers into being. The government prints the physical notes and coins, yes, but that's just a tiny slice of all the money out there. The rest, the vast ocean of it, was created by banks as debt. And that word, debt, is the key to the whole mystery, because here's the flip side that makes it all balance. Every one of those new dollars was created as a loan, which means it was born alongside a matching debt that someone has to pay back. The money and the debt are two sides of the same coin, created at the same instant, which leads to a genuinely mind-bending truth about our world. Nearly all the money in existence is, quite literally, someone's debt. The money in your pocket, in your account, it exists because somewhere, someone borrowed it into being. Money and debt in the modern world are almost the same thing, wearing two different faces. But now the mask comes off completely, and we get to the real question. If banks can just create money out of nothing, what stops them from creating infinite money and handing themselves all the riches in the world? Because clearly, that doesn't happen. So something must be holding them back. And understanding what that something is takes you from sounding like a conspiracy theorist to actually understanding the system. Several things rein the banks in. First, they can only create money when someone is willing to borrow it and is creditworthy enough to pay it back. And every loan is a risk, because if the borrower doesn't repay, the bank takes the loss. Second, banks are bound by strict rules that limit how much they can lend relative to their own safety cushion of real capital. And third, sitting above all the ordinary banks is a central bank, an institution that acts as the master of the whole system, setting the interest rates that make borrowing more or less attractive, and pulling the levers that speed up or slow down how much new money gets created. So money isn't created infinitely. It's created within a web of rules, risks, and controls, expanding when people borrow and the economy grows, and contracting when loans are repaid and borrowing slows. It's a managed system, not a free-for-all, and not a secret cabal. Just a strange, powerful machine most people were never shown. So this is the collapse. Except, once again, it's not a collapse at all. It's just the quiet, strange reality humming underneath your entire financial life. Money is not a fixed pile of gold in a vault. It's a living, breathing thing, mostly created by banks as loans, expanding and shrinking as we borrow and repay, all managed and steered by central banks pulling levers behind the scenes. It feels solid and permanent when you hold a bill in your hand, but the truth is, money is really just trust, a shared agreement, backed by rules and by confidence that these numbers mean something. And as long as everyone keeps trusting it, the whole magnificent machine keeps working. So, what does knowing all this actually do for you? You're not going to start creating money, that's the bank's job. But understanding the machine protects you in some very real ways. Grab a pen. First, and most valuable, this knowledge makes you nearly immune to financial fear peddlers. Now that you understand how money really works, calmly, accurately, you'll recognize the people who use this exact topic to frighten you. You've seen them. Money is fake. It's all created from nothing. The system is a fraud that's about to collapse. So buy my gold, my crypto, my survival course before it's too late. They take this real, boring mechanism and dress it up as a terrifying secret to sell you something. But you now know the sober truth. Yes, money is created by banks. And no, that doesn't mean it's all about to vanish tomorrow. The machine has run this way for a very long time. Understanding it means you can never again be stampeded by someone weaponizing your confusion. Second, respect the power of inflation, because now you understand where it can come from. If money is created when banks lend, then when a great deal of new money gets created very quickly, more money chasing the same amount of goods, you get inflation. That silent force we keep returning to that erodes what your money can buy. This is why your cash slowly loses value over the years, and why, as we've discussed before, letting your long-term money sit still is a quiet, losing game. Understanding how money is born helps you understand why it slowly shrinks in your pocket. Third, understand that in this system, cautious savers can quietly lose. And it's not your fault. Here's something a little uncomfortable. A system built on money as debt, with steady inflation baked in, is not naturally kind to the person who does the safe thing and just holds cash. The value of that idle cash slowly melts, while those who own assets, homes, businesses, shares, tend to ride the wave upward. This isn't a reason to panic or to gamble. It's simply a reason to understand, as we've said before, the difference between money that rests and money that grows, and to make sure your long-term money isn't just sitting still, quietly losing the game. Now let me be completely fair, as always. None of this makes banks evil, and none of it means the system is a scam. This machine, money created through lending, is, for all its strangeness, what funds the houses people buy, the businesses they start, the growth that lifts living standards. When it works well, it's one of the most powerful engines of progress ever built. It has real dangers, yes. When banks lend recklessly or too much money is created too fast, the whole thing can wobble, and ordinary people can get hurt. That's exactly why the rules and the central banks exist, imperfect as they are. The point was never to make you fear the machine. It was to make sure you can finally see it, because a person who understands how money really works is a person who can never again be fooled by those who profit from your confusion. Because here's the truth hiding inside that simple question we started with. Nobody is sitting on a giant vault with your cash in it. The money isn't really there at all. It's a vast, living web of numbers, promises, and trust, mostly spoken into being by banks and held together by our shared confidence that it's real. And the person who understands that isn't frightened by it. They're free from the fear and finally able to see the world of money as it actually is. If this finally made the strange truth about money and banks click into place, share it with someone who's always suspected something weird was going on, but could never quite explain it. And stick around, because next time, I'm detecting another trap they're praying you'll never spot.